Hello, everyone. Like, comment, share, subscribe. It's kind of tough. You can't hardly see me, but that's okay. That's all the way we're going to get our point across of part 2, healthcare micro-retaliation. Type of things that go on when managers are being messy and, you feel it in your gut that something ain't right and they just say and do anything. They let their friends say and do anything. But here are some things somebody want me to bring to you all's attention. It's small things your supervisor leader does that, like I said, is unethical or biased towards staff. It could happen to you. It could happen to anyone. It can happen to whatever. It ain't even really got to be healthcare setting. It's just power tripping people, manager, team leader, supervisor that's doing unethical things and they handling things in the wrong way. They know they doing wrong, but they do it small enough where you can't catch it because they smart enough to do it and smart enough to get away with it. So, for example, an employee brought to the attention to a manager that he or she was still within orientation and worked by himself, worked alone during orientation, and they were short staffed. So the new employee said, well, I only have 2 more days left. Can I just work those last 2 days alone because I feel confident and competent in my skills and ability to do my assignment? I already worked 2 shifts by myself, due to lack of staffing. So I can pretty much do the last 2 by myself. So the manager did not address the other emails that were sent. So the manager went back in the time attendance. Again, this is a big thing with people trying to find some of the time attendance, and sent the warning shot to the employee and said, well, this person only missed 1 day due to a wreck, but the manager didn't mention that the reason for the person being out. Okay, I don't understand this. The person sent in a doctor note, gave a doctor note that the car was wrecked, gave that note, showed that note, and showed the person had went to the hospital. So that should be a call out, but kind of sort of like a excuse incident because you have proof that the situation occurred. The manager pinpointed out, well, I advise you strongly to look at the time and attendance policy. Why would you go back months ago to find out and you didn't address it to this person the week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or whatever prior or after the person had missed the day? You didn't address it, but you know that that's against policy for staff to be working alone during orientation. But because you got caught being messy, your staff got caught doing messy, your management team or whoever was trying to recruit people, get people to come in, drop the ball, you want to send a warning shot to your employee of, I'm watching you type of BS. These people do this mess all the time. And that's why I say be careful, constantly sending emails, constantly going in the office, because it's not going to do you no good. It's going to put the microscope on you, and people is going to find a way to get you. So that just lets you know how messy folks is, that they're going to worry about the wrong thing. Okay. Another thing could be an example of a manager's, team leader, supervisor, whoever is responsible for doing your evaluation, padding your evaluation with false statements, false accusations, false whatever. Say you are responsible for doing blood sugars, vital signs, whatever it is that your task is, but you're working under somebody and they have to address whatever going on with the vital signs, the blood sugars, or whatever it is. They only are caring for 4 to 6 residents, a patient or resident or whatever it is, and they sitting in front of these people because they taking care of the 4 or 6 because of the type of care they doing. So every time you go in to do a vital sign, most places it rolls over the blood sugar, the finger stick rolls over. You really don't have to tell the person that you working under because they sitting right there at the desk and they see it and they gonna click it on it a minute or 2 after you do it. So why would that person that's working over you go to the office after you made a complaint about this person talking mean to you, saying stuff to you, just being reckless with their language? But then your manager gonna say, hey, we have complaints that you're not reporting blood sugars, vital signs, this, that, and the other. Okay, how is it that the person is not reporting it when the person is sitting right there at the desk looking at the 4 to 6 patients or residents numbers and clicking on it, or 1 or 2? You have to be ahead of these managers, these team leaders, whoever doing your evaluation, because they're going to try to come at you with some BS, and you got to know your stuff. Like, hey, when you walk out of that room and you see that person over them patients or residents and say, hey, check your vitals, check your finger sticks, go ahead and say that. Because it's always going to be, you ain't got to say nothing to them people. It's always going to be somebody intimidated by your aura, how you carry yourself, how you talk, your knowledge. They're going to wonder why you doing a low-paying job and you very knowledgeable about different things. They're going to be intimidated by that. They're going to be intimidated by your presence. Either they could be younger than you and they got a position higher than you, but they still intimidated by you. And it's like, you don't went to school for all this stuff, but you still jealous and envious. It's something wrong with your mental. Get yourself checked, because you shouldn't have that. You got what you want. You went to school. You did all this stuff. So you shouldn't be jealous or envious of somebody to make it $12, $14. See, whatever your dollar amount is, you make it work for your life, for whatever it is. But that's crazy to me that somebody will be making $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, $70, $80, and they want to come up with ridiculous stuff that you're not doing your job to tell a manager, and for a manager to even talk to an employee about, hey, this came back to me. You can look on the computer and see. Just like you tell employees to come to your office and say, you got to have proof. You got to have dates, times, numbers, names. I'm not going by gossip. You need to tell your fellow nurses, respiratory, whatever, whoever it is coming to your office, you need to tell them, you need to have facts. I'm not going by, yeah, you my friend, but when I get rid of this person, I got to have facts. When I write this person, I got to have facts. And managers are so reckless. Those that are reckless, all the managers ain't like that. I have made some amazing managers that know how to be managers. And when they don't know something, they go high up and find out the answer. They don't sit there and worry about, I got to please my friend type of manager. They don't do that. So I ain't talking about, I'm talking to the people that got sense. So if you ain't got no sense, get off this page. I'm trying to educate you. I'm not putting out no BS. I'm putting out true facts, because I guarantee you, if you ain't go through it, you might go through it in the future. Today, tomorrow, next week, or your friend might go through it. Depending on the level of whatever they working. You're going to be a target for BS, because people in many levels or different levels and different titles are power trip for no reason. That y'all need to get it together. But for some reason, it's something going on. When manager come to you and say, hey, I've been checking out your time and attendance. Why? That's micro-retaliation. They're padding your evaluation with stuff so you can't transfer, because they already heard you look for another job. And they trying to stop you for another 6 to 8 months until they get some more employees to replace you, because it would be hard to replace a CNA, a medical assistant, a this or that, whatever it is. Don't tell nobody your business. You don't owe nobody your truth. If it ain't fitting with you, what did I say in the last? Leave. If it's not giving you peace, leave, because it ain't going to get better. Because if you ain't got a manager to see the weak points and the strong points and the bad behavior of a unit, you ain't going to be safe nowhere. Leave. And it's BS everywhere. But you shouldn't have to be putting up with a large workload on top of bullying, on top of hostile work environment, on top of people don't know how to communicate, on top of people lying. That's too much to put up with. And then you ain't no telling what you got at the house, but they want you to leave your stuff at the house, at the door. But then they treat you like trash at work. Y'all need to pick a pause. Because either you want the people to come here and function and take care of your patient and resident with a clear conscience and mind, and stop cutting corners. Stop messing around and hostile work environment and bullying and all this other stuff. Y'all need to get together. Work ain't supposed to be a battlefield. Work's supposed to be work. You get along. You ain't got to like nobody. But why you going to gossip because you don't like them, and you got a spirit that you don't like them, so that makes somebody else not like you, and then they'll talk to you when they're in the break room, but they'll stop talking when their friend walk in. Stop being childish. Work is not high school. If I don't like you, I don't like you, and I know why I don't like you, but my friend, he ain't got to like you, or she ain't got to. They can like you if they want to. I don't have no problem with it. It's just how you treat me, how I treat you. If it's different, I ain't got nothing to say. We're not in high school no more. So if you're not talking to that person, you're just not talking to that person. I'm not going to tell you not to talk to that person because he did this to me, or she did that to me. You got to make your own assumptions about people. Y'all need to grow up. You're too grown to rest. You right here with hair on your tail, gray hair on your head. You right here got all these degrees behind your name, and you still acting like you're 14 years old. You still act like you 16 or 18 years old. Grow up. You done sat in that college and that school and took that NCLEX and you still acting childish. Get it together. There ain't no reason for you to be going to a place. I don't get along with her. She don't get along with me. I don't like how she look at me. I don't like how she look at me when I tell her. That's on you. That's your own insecurity. If you know how to talk with somebody, you ain't got to worry about nobody looking at you with devilish demon eyes and trying to figure out, I know you ain't talking to me because I'm going to drag you. You ain't got to worry about that if you know how to talk to people. Because you don't know what background. Just because somebody in healthcare, you don't know what they used to do. You don't know what they're currently doing. Treat people how you want to be treated. That's all I'm saying. Because you don't know how somebody going to treat you on the outside. You don't know if that person going to quit their job and one day see you and drag you across the aisle, across the street. Be careful how you treat people. If there's no reason to mistreat nobody and they not harming you or saying nothing disrespectful, why even do it? Why even go in a patient room and discuss something because you scared of somebody? You didn't have the balls to talk to them when the event occurred and you disrespected them. She said now she want to be cleaned up when a patient don't even talk. But then you want to come in there and calm it down and act like you want to clean it up. If you want to clean the person up, you would have cleaned the person up while you in there. You wouldn't have came out to the hall, to the desk to say what somebody said that ain't even talking. You would have cleaned the person up. Y'all need to get it together. Because you got 1 or 2 times to keep right on crossing over people in funny kind of way, and they're going to cuss you out and hurt your feelings. Like they say, allow people to go home at night and allow them to go back home to their family. That's the same way in just about every area. Every healthcare fee, somebody allowing you to go back home in one piece. Hush. They not hurting your feelings. They not fussing you out. You ain't got to go home and talk to your husband or boyfriend and say, that girl cussed me out, that man cussed me out. You ain't got to say that. They letting you go home peaceful. You going to feel some type of cake because they looked at you. But who ain't going to look at you when you being disrespectful? Are you supposed to look down? This ain't no slave days. You look up and you look the person in the face and like talk to them with your eyes. Like, I know you ain't talking to me. Y'all need to get it together. Because you don't know what you're going up against in these places. Okay. Another thing that managers and people would do is add on more tasks to your job so that they can find you slipping somewhere. And then when they find you slipping or they added on so much to you, it becomes overwhelming. They want to call you off. They want to say that you missed some things. They want to cut your hours. They want to pull you to different areas. They do this all the time. They do it all the time. And it's micro-retaliation for you going to that office. Stay out of that office. If you really, really, really got to go in there, go in there. If you feel like it's going to solve something. But I would say make 2 to 3 attempts to talk to that person. But it really ain't going to do no good talking to the charge nurse or talking to the person because more than likely they probably all friends. And you just going to be sitting there looking stupid. And ain't nothing going to be done because you're going to be a microscope under you. And nothing's going to be done. Another thing is when you work somewhere and you see unsafe actions, bad orientation, just people just talking to you in any kind of way when they being a preceptor. Manager, you need to be honest with yourself. Everybody get along with you ain't gonna get along with your new employees. Some people are very seasoned and they not gonna put up with a lot of BS. Let's just say what it is. It is what it is. Let's call a thing a thing. Some of your people are fast-paced workers and they know the job and they know it well and they don't like to slow down. They're used to a fast-paced environment. They're gonna say things like, I like working alone. I don't like working with nobody. I don't like nobody following me. I like working by myself. You need to I work fast, so you need to catch up or you're gonna get behind. Fast-paced working people don't like training, or people that don't like training most of the time have done stuff so many times the wrong way and they don't know how to do it the right way. And don't be one of the ones that take notes because they're gonna feel like you taking notes on what they doing wrong or what they doing to the T, that they ain't got no sense in their head of thinking. You're a seasoned person. You're only taking notes on certain things. You're not taking notes on, oh, she put too many pills in the cup, or she did this with the wipes and didn't do this with this and didn't do this with that. Don't nobody care about it. A seasoned worker know what to look for. And it's bad that you gotta be a seasoned worker and you gotta go in these places. I'm not writing down nothing about what y'all doing. I'm writing down key details so I can know where things are located at, so I can know what book to sign, so I can know what area to work in, so I can know who I need to go to do a blood sugar or a vital sign or or a bath, or I'm writing down locations of this and location. You know, you constantly have to reassure these immature workers out here that you're not in it to get them, because they look at you like you're crazy. And managers, you got to do your due diligence and start asking these employees, do you want to train? You know, you got to ask, do you want to be a preceptor? Because a lot of folks don't. And I've worked a lot of jobs, and I've seen that's in your contract that you signed, that you're willing to precept or train new employees. So there ain't a place in healthcare that I haven't worked in that wasn't on the paperwork, a part of the job duties of training new staff. So you got to be ahead of it. You go in that office, and that's a part of being a team player. You go in the office like, Miss Jane, I know I signed that paper, but I don't think I don't have no little children. I don't think I had the patience of telling somebody from beginning to end of how to do this process. I can tell them, you know, can you just let me show them just the basis of maybe who get the vital signs, or who get the finger sticks, or who gets transported, or can you let me show them just the basics of it, and then somebody else show them the detailed stuff? Because I really don't have, that's not my strongest, you know, thing of training somebody. That's one of my weaknesses. Be honest, because that show what caliber of worker you is. That show that you're an honest person, instead of somebody taking you in the office, or you have to go in the office because how you treated somebody. And then you got to be in there being lying. I ain't do that to that girl. I ain't do that to that guy. They just sensitive. No, they're not. You're just reckless, and you don't give two its about how you say things, how you present yourself, how you carry yourself as an employee. You don't care, because you're so busy trying to do your thing and cut corners that you don't want nobody to see that you're cutting so many corners. I'm sorry for the video. This thing done went dark. It's kind of getting dark out here. But you have to be very mindful, people. Be very mindful of how you're treating people. Okay? Because this is not going to go away, and you're going to constantly have a high employee turnover rate if you don't get your workers in there and get them trained by the right people. And like I said, manager, just be mindful, because a lot of people say they're willing to do, and you can know somebody from another establishment and you could think that they're cool people. And that happens a lot of time, because you think you know somebody, but then it end up being they're not nothing like what you saw years ago. You saw them in passing. You're not friends. You were just cordial. You just worked a couple of times in the same area, and you would think they're good people. But good people show when they're training. You could tell who wants to train. If you're a seasoned worker and who don't want to train, you could tell. Because a person that want to train are constantly going to make sure you got to understand of what you're doing, because they really need the help and they really appreciate that you coming to help. But, you know, hey, do what you want to do. It's your business. I'm just saying, I'm just a messenger. I just want to highlight some things some people sent to me. And I hope everybody like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification buttons. Just like I said, just watch all the videos at some point in time. And hopefully the next video I do will be better lighting, because it's getting kind of dark out here. So I'll see you on the next video, and I hope this helped everyone know about what's be going on with micro-retaliation. It comes up sometimes, and you'll notice it sometimes when managers trying to like pull your card and let you know, I'm watching you. So it happens. You just have to be careful, and you just have to be mindful, and that lets you know what type of manager you're working for. Because when they send you an email about something you didn't even ask them about, or they can't even respond to every email, that's definitely a red flag. They're responding to what they want to respond to let you know, I'm watching you. It's sad to say, but it's out here. So, like I say, go to school, find you something to do. I encourage everybody and anybody to do what you got to do to better yourself. Don't stay nowhere too long, and have a blessed day.